explain everything so that you know exactly why we're, asking what we're asking, and to make sure that you understand the importance of each one of these questions. The first one we ask every client we ever talk to is, of course, are you working with another licensed realtor? In today's real estate market, there's the buyer's rep agreement. So that agreement would be signed by yourself and the agent that's representing you if you have one. Of course, if you didn't sign your name to nothing, that answer is probably going to be no. And even if you did sign your name to something, and let's say that agent is not doing what they said they were going to do and you don't want to work with them anymore, that's fine. We're going to also be able to have the conversation with you in order to help you get out of that buyer's rep agreement and move on to the next agent, which hopefully will be one of our Melrose Group Realty experts, in order to help you get qualified and get into that home purchase that you are aspiring to get. Your full name, that might be pretty self-explanatory, but just understand that the full name needed would be the name that's on your ID, be it your passport, your driver's license, or even your military ID. Whatever federal form of identification you're going to use, make sure the name you give us is the name that's on there, because whenever it's all said and done and we start putting your name on these documents, the title attorney, the lender, the insurance folks, they're not going to be able to put nicknames and names that people call you. So make sure you give us your full name as it appears on that ID, so that when you give us a copy of that ID, we don't have to amend any of the paperwork and do a lot of more documents to fix all of the names that we thought you were. Email address, same thing. Make sure it's something that you can access around the clock. I know some people work for organizations that have a specific email address that you can only use on their network when you're at work. So make sure you have an email address on file with us that you can communicate on around the clock, off of your cell phone, off of an iPad, from your home, wherever you're at in the world, because a lot of these documents have time frames on it. And we want to make sure that we are never breaching or putting you in a position to breach a contract because it took you too many days to respond to the inquiry or to sign something that we need signed 24 hours ago, right? So be sure that the email address you have is one that you can get to around the clock. Phone number, again, make sure it's a registered number. Text messages are always preferred. A lot of the things that we do in this process is not always worth a whole hour-long conversation. Sometimes it's easier to just send you a text and then respond to the text, or at least let us know that you got it. Give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down, whatever the case may be, right? But make sure that you let us know that you received it so that, we can know that it was delivered and received as applicable. Your consultation date. Again, every person that we come into contact with, just filling out this form will not be the end all be all, right? A lot of people are going to fill out this form and get mad, right, when we call and reach out. So therefore, we're trying to give you the opportunity to give us a day and time so that you can be a little bit more prepared and a little bit more expectant of us giving you a call. The job that we have as professionals who are licensed by the state of Louisiana to assist you in purchasing your home, we definitely don't want to just send you information and assume that you understand it. We want to get on a call with you. We want to identify your individual needs, your individual wants, and we want to get to know you and build a rapport with you. So you giving us this information is not just for us to store it on a server somewhere. It's for us to better understand your situation and get on a call with you so that we could better assist you and your time frame so that we can make sure that everything is progressing as it should. So as you can see right here, you can put the date and the time that you prefer. If your schedule changes, because we are human and things in this world is not always finite, right? So you can always let us know. Communication is number one with this process. Just let us know, hey, I know I said Monday, but go ahead and set me up for Tuesday. We'll check our schedule and we'll confirm it and let you know, or we'll recommend a better time if somebody else already scheduled it for that day and we're going to be overlapped. But either way, communicate with us. But priority number one, once you get on this document and fill out this form, is to get you on a call with us as soon as possible so that we can move forward with your progress. Louisiana is a community property state. So as you can see with the marital status, we need to know. We need to know what's going on. Are you single? Have you been married? Are you divorced? Are you going through separation? Whatever the case may be. And again, we don't want to know that just to get in your business. We want to know that because we don't want to get you in a position where you're going through this process and get all the way down the road after you paid for inspections, after you paid for an appraisal, after you paid for everything else that needs to go with this process. Now we find out from a title attorney that you are married, going through divorce, you didn't tell nobody, but before you can sign for anything in Louisiana, the other person has to sign with you. Now you done wasted all your money. So again, we don't want to be in your business like talking about, but if we can save you the aggravation and not waste your money in the process, we definitely want to do that, because our goal is to make this as least stressful as possible. And to do that, we need to be able to communicate, trust each other, and have a transparent approach to assisting you from the start. So again, some people, they go through this process thinking, oh, well, I'm going to be divorced by then, and they're not. And now it's time for everybody to sign everything that they need to sign, and we can't move forward because this person doesn't have a real good relationship with you. And now you wasted all that money and got to start this process again later when your divorce is finalized, if that is your situation. So again, we're not asking you stuff on here to be on your business. We're asking you stuff on here to make sure that we have a great vision in front of us on what needs to happen in order to help you on a timeline understand everything that goes through. This might be your first time purchasing a house. You might not know all of the phases that come into it, but just know that everything done up front is not everything that's needed at the end of the day to get you, signed, sealed, and delivered to purchase your home. So we definitely need to know information like that up front. Same thing with you being a teacher, first responder, or military. We just want to know, that way we can, maximize your benefits, right? If you qualify for VA loan and it's 100% 100% loan and you don't have to worry about no down payment, then, that might be your best case scenario. Or you can still put a down payment down, but just use it to buy down a loan so your note won't be that high. But either way, there's other grants and stuff that teachers and first responders and law enforcement qualify for. And again, we want to know that up front. That way, when we set you up with financing, if you need financing anyway, we set you up with that. And that way you have all of your best foot forward, moving forward with your lender, so that they can give you the best programs available. Current living situation, again, not getting in your business, but we want to know, what's the time frame look like? If you renting, you can't always just break your lease. If you are in a lease, you also know that sometimes breaking it early could result in penalties or more things that just won't be of much benefit to you when purchasing a home. So we need to know that time frame. You might have a home that you already own that you don't have no mortgage on, that you're going to use as rental property. Or you might be living in a house that you do have a mortgage on that you need to sell first. Or you might just be living with family and friends. Again, all of that helps us so that we can give you the best advice up front in regards to the timeliness and the timetable of you purchasing your next home and what needs to happen before we even start spending money that you can't get back. Again, you can't get back inspection money. You can't get back appraisal money. Once that money is spent, it's gone. So we don't want nobody to spend money just to have to wait and then do everything over again when the time comes. So again, we're not getting in your business per se, but we need to know this in order to best assist you moving forward. You're going to get a more thorough conversation, one-on-one details from the actual agent you're going to be working with. I'm just here today to give you the overview of why these questions are being asked, so that way you understand by providing this information is just to set up that first call. None of this that I'm talking about right now is designed for your specific situation. This is just a 35,000-foot view looking down from a helicopter, looking down at your process of what you can expect and why we need to know this stuff. Once again, your school zone preference. Again, it doesn't have to be right now today, right? You might be purchasing your house that is going to be your forever home. And let's say you don't have any kids, but when you do have kids, you want them to go to this particular school, right? So that's why we would need to know that up front. If you did have kids, or if you do have kids, what school zone are you trying to be in, or are you trying to go to, or you would like to be in when you do get kids? That way we can help you decide what properties best fit your situation before, we actually start looking at homes. That way those can be understood. Same thing with the parish preference. Not everybody want to live in every parish, so understand that as well. Your time frame to purchase, again, that ties into your living situation, right? It could be 4 to 6 months from now. It could be over a year from now. We don't know. Everybody we talk to does not purchase a house the very next day. So don't think that, okay, well, let me start with Melrose Group Realty today, but I'm not going to be purchasing until a year from now. That's totally fine. Still have the conversation, still get on our calendar, still get on our books, still have the consultation. That way you can get the information you need up front. We'll give you our buyer's guide and we'll lay it out for you in a one-on-one conversation that's going to be beneficial for your specific situation. So again, that's why this is important, and that's why we want to have this conversation as soon as possible on your schedule. Again, it's a shock to me how many people fill out a document like this or fill out a form like this. We get their information, we call them, they get mad that we're calling. It's a shock how often that happens. So the hope of this video is that now you guys and gals have clarity on what happens when you fill out a form like this for a real estate expert to help you. We have to have that conversation, and here's why. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, that is the why to why we're doing this. Your buying power, again, not everybody needs a loan. Some people can go all cash, right? You might have an inheritance. You might be a winner of a lottery or winner at the casino and want a lot of money. Now you want to purchase a home, whatever the case may be. We need to know that, right? And again, you don't need to provide proof of funds or a pre-approval letter right then and there in our first conversation as far as our consultation that you schedule. You just need to understand that before we can submit an offer on a property, the listing agent and the sellers would like to see that pre-approval if you're financing and that proof of funds if you do have all cash. You'll be surprised how many people say, yeah, I'm all cash. And then we show them a house or two and they want to put an offer in. And now it comes up, yeah, I'm just waiting on my settlement. Or yeah, I'm just waiting on the money to hit my account. Or yeah, I'm just waiting for the money to be released. Like, no, we need to know before we put the offer in, proof of funds in hand, pre-approval letter in hand, not look for a house. Now you're ready to put an offer. Now we got to take 3 weeks for us to get the proof of funds or get the, pre-approval letter. So anyway, I'm not going to beat that to death, but just know that that information needs to be known up front, whether you're going to be all cash, whether you're going to be financing. And it's okay if you got your own lender. That's totally fine. But 9 times out of 10, new homeowners, they don't have a lender. So we definitely can link you up with a licensed lender or a licensed lending broker who can help you get pre-qualified, pre-approved, and get all of that situated so that we can look for properties in your budget. Or if you're all cash, you already know your budget, and we can rock and roll from there. Even if you're not financing and you're doing all cash, we still need the credit score, right? Because the credit score is important and needed for the actual insurance adjuster or representative so that they can give you the best quotes available for you based on credit score. So it doesn't have to be an exact number, but just give us a little range of what you think you are because you purchased a car last year or you got a credit card and they gave you your little report saying, hey, your credit score was this number. But either way, it don't have to be an exact number. As you can see, you can't give me an exact number, but a range would be fine. If you don't know it, that's fine as well. When the lender runs your credit, they're going to see it anyway, and the insurance person will see it anyway when they run it. So either way, this is just for us to know. That way, again, we can maximize your loan types to maximize your benefits to see what loans you qualify for to better assist you up front and not have to worry about too many curveballs later on down the road. Again, if you have missed payments, the lender will find out, the underwriter will find out. So be sure to disclose that up front so that your lender can give you a plan of action to try to fix that before the underwriter gets involved towards the end of the approval process, right? So again, it doesn't have to be exact. Just give us the just about, hey, I know I never missed no payments. Cool. I missed 1 or 2 in the last 6 months, year, whatever. Okay, cool. Or yeah, I'm always missing payments. There's at least 3 for sure that I know about. Let us know that up front. That way the lender can help you navigate that to still get you moving forward. Same thing with your arrears, your bankruptcy, your evictions, litigations, all that good stuff. Now, the lender per se and the underwriter per se may not see this information. This information might not come up until the abstract is done by the title attorney. Now, this is after inspections. You spent that money. This is after appraisal. You spent that money. Everybody say you're good to go. Title attorney gets involved right when we give them the thumbs up to say, hey, run that abstract. Now this is where your student loans, your liens, your evictions, this is where all of that comes up now if you owe money. So if you know that up front, let us know because, again, we're not trying to get in your business. We just want to ensure that we have the information up front that you know about in order to better serve you. Last thing we want to do is watch you spend $700 on inspections, another $500 on appraisal, just to find out that you didn't tell us something at the beginning, and now that's over $1,000 you will not get back. If we can prevent that, we want to. So again, Not getting your business, but all of this is important to help us assist you and save you some money where we can. Same thing with federal student loans. If you know you got loans, the lender might not see that you're defaulted up front. They might see a good payment history on your credit report, but then when the title attorney gets in there and run an abstract, we might see you're defaulted, and now everything you did to get up to that abstract point was for nothing, and you're not going to get that money back. So again, I don't want to beat it to death, but this is why this is important, especially having that first consultation. So be sure you get there. Current employment, we want to know, we need to know how long you've been on your job. Are you about to switch jobs? Did you quit your job? Are you even working? Is it a full-time job? Is it a part-time job? We need to know all of that. All of that matters when financing. Not too much when you're paying all cash and you're going through the process in 14 to 21 days to get it closed, and now you're living in a house where you don't have a mortgage. You just got to pay your insurances for the most part. Not going to be as important, but for financing, it's extremely important because we need to be able to have verification of employment and all kind of other good stuff. So be sure you answer that question. And again, those red asterisks on each one is mandatory questions. So no matter what, answer the question regardless of what the answer is. Type of income, we want to know, are you salaried? Do your taxes get pulled out every 2 weeks, every month, bi-weekly, weekly, whatever the case may be? Or are you 1099 like a real estate agent, right? Are you getting paid and commissions, and then once you get paid, it's up to you to file a Schedule C tax return or 1099 type income? All of that good stuff helps us understand up front what type of process you can expect when we have that initial conversation, so we can best advise you on what you can expect from the lender and from your process, depending on which salary type or Schedule C type of income you get. Do you have cash on hand? Do you have liquid assets? Again, not to get in your business, but this helps us understand whether or not when we put an offer in, do we need to ask the seller to pay closing costs or to not pay closing costs? Do we need to go over the list price to be able to get that money, or can we negotiate down because we're not asking for anything, right? So all of that matters, not to get in your business, but just to know up front how we need to structure your process, because every process will be individual, customized, and different. Taxes filed, again, not really important if you're paying cash, but it could be, right? Because the title attorney might say, hey, we understand you're trying to buy this house. You have $300,000 cash. You're ready to rock and roll. But if you owe the IRS, that title attorney has a duty, right, sometimes to go ahead and get that information to the IRS before you can purchase. And sometimes they might take your money before you can buy your house. So again, we need to know that. It doesn't have to be exact numbers or exact time frames, but we do need to know whether or not you didn't pay your taxes or you didn't file your taxes, and if you got back taxes, all that good stuff. So I'm not going to beat this to death too much. Just understand that this video and this form is very, very good for your very first step in this process. And then it's important for whatever time frame you put for this consultation to rock and roll and try to, get to it. Try to get on a call, get on a Zoom, whatever the case may be, with your real estate expert, your Melrose Group Realty expert, I should say, and get us on a call to get all of this stuff understood for your individual process, your customized process, and we can personalize it in order to fit your exact needs. There's more questions that may or may not be asked depending on your situation. The time may not be right at the end of the day, right? There's 3 terms that you got to understand when going to purchase a home. In real estate, we call it ready, willing, and able. You got to be all 3, right? Some people are ready, but they're not willing to run their credit, or they're ready and willing, but they're not able because they just started a new job, right? So for the most part, we're going to discuss that with whatever real estate expert you get on a call with, and we're going to make sure that you are ready, willing, and able to get this process going. And again, if you need a lender, you need an insurance person, you need a title person, we have all of those on our team. We call it our partners or our vendors. Or you could come in with people that you already know. You might already have a lender that you're working with. You might already have a insurance person that you know that you're related to, and that's totally fine as well. Okay, so we look forward to helping you, and we definitely look forward to having that first one-on-one consultation. And other than that, I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible, but this is how you get started with your process with a Melrose Group Realty expert. Y'all have a great evening.